uncertainty, we are reminded weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning, and church morning is on its way. God bless you, God bless Detroit, and may God bless the United States. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh in the morning, and church morning is on its way.
You know, when I listen to Kamala Harris do these speeches, it honestly baffles me. It baffles me. I do not understand how people cannot see how fake and phony she is. There's nothing genuine about a single word that comes out of her mouth. And this isn't me, being like, or having some sort of political bias. This is me being honest. Like, you can say what you want to say about Bill Clinton. I understand why some people liked Bill Clinton. You can say what you want to say about Barack Obama. I'll admit that he was a good speaker. And I understand why some people liked Barack Obama. I understand how and why some of the things Barack Obama said actually worked on people. But when I look at Kamala Harris, I honestly don't see it. I don't see it. Now, don't get me wrong. I see people showing fake enthusiasm online. I see people pretending like all of a sudden Kamala Harris is the hottest thing since sliced bread, even though she's been vice president for 4 years and no one gave a damn. But I just don't see what people see in her. And like I said, it goes beyond politics. It's just like when you listen to someone speak, you can tell if they're being genuine or not. And I know that for the most part, politicians aren't the most genuine people, but they damn sure do a better job at pretending to be genuine than Kamala Harris. Everything just seems so forced, and that's because Kamala Harris has not been herself this entire election. She has to pose as something that she's not. For one, she has to pretend like she's competent enough to be president. We know that's not the case. She knows that's not the case. She has to pretend that she's a black woman. We know she's not. Her family acknowledges that she's not, but she has to pretend because she has to pander to a certain crowd. But as Kamala Harris is out here putting on fake accents during every speech, Donald Trump has been out here really connecting with people. And I've made this point before, and I'll make it again, and I'll make it again and again and again. It doesn't matter if you like Trump or not. We know we're getting the genuine Trump. If Trump was being fake, if Trump was not being genuine, then he wouldn't say half of the things that he says. Because I'll be honest, other people won't be. But a lot of the stuff that Trump says works against him. Trump gets himself in trouble with his words all the time. Now, I like it. I like someone being honest and unfiltered. But if Trump wasn't being genuinely him, he would know better. He would be more strategic with his words and be careful not to fall into all the traps that he always falls in. But Trump comes out and he's himself. He says what comes to mind. And regardless if you like it or not, you can sense the genuineness in what he says. And that's why I think so many people support Trump. And I mean genuine support. Not support that you just, mustered up out of nowhere 3 months ago. I mean, people genuinely support Trump. But as it becomes more and more evidently clear that Trump is the front runner in this election, now we have the Democrats trying to paint him out as if he's like a dementia-ridden old man like Joe Biden, but we know that's not the case. Hell, I am 33 years old. There is no way I could keep up with Trump's schedule. I could tell you that right now. At my age, I could not keep up with the schedule that this man has been keeping up with during this campaign. And hell, for the last 4 years, the last 8 years, the last more years than that. But they're trying to act like he's cognitively, he's declining mentally, all of this stuff. It's basically everything that is true about Joe Biden. Now that they pulled Joe Biden out of the race, they're trying to project all of that on Trump. But the problem is, unlike Joe Biden, unlike Kamala Harris, we could go turn on the Joe Rogan podcast and listen to Trump speak for 3 hours. We could go turn on that podcast. We could turn on this rally. We could turn on this news station. We can go everywhere and hear Trump speak at length. And he's a very sharp guy, not just for his age, but in general. And matter of fact, he's so sharp that people like Nancy Pelosi can't even keep up. When he's telling his quick little quips and little jokes, they try to paint it out as if he's talking crazy. But his supporters know what he's talking about. You know, people like Nancy Pelosi, maybe she doesn't because her mind has slowed down so much, even though, damn, she seems to be really good at the stock market. But anyways, let's go ahead and roll this clip of Nancy talking trash, and then I'll be right back with more.
Take care. I do want to start with those comments because, I mean, your family knows better than just about any family in America the very real consequences of Trump's violent rhetoric. And I just want to get your reaction to what he just said at this rally, what we just played for the audience.
Good morning. Wonderful to be with you again on this weekend before the election. I think that what the ex-president just said is a further indication of his cognitive degeneration. You saw recently when he was talking about whether he chose electrocution or being eaten by sharks. Something's very wrong there. And indicative in it also is diminishing the power of the press, which is the guardian of our freedom in our country. So I think people who might thinking about voting for him have to know that he can't last as president for 4 years with his brain deteriorating at the rate that it is, and is clearly evident. And they may be voting for President Vance, which would be a horrible thing for our country. You're right. Our family has experienced the violence. Where is Nancy? Where is Nancy? Coming into our house, violating the sanctity of our home, the safety of my husband, looking for me, echoing what was said on January 6th in the Capitol. Where is Nancy? Where is Nancy? Was coming up to punish me for what I had said about Donald Trump.
So you see what I'm saying, how they're trying to project everything that's wrong with Joe Biden. Now they're trying to project it on Trump. I mean, she's sitting here saying that Donald Trump is mentally declining, but she's stuttering her words. She can't even hardly get her words out of her own plastic surgery-ridden face, right? But the most hilarious part about it is that, like I said, Trump is everywhere. He's talking 24/7. From the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, Trump is out somewhere speaking publicly. We all know it. You know, regardless if you like the guy or not, you can't escape him. He's everywhere, right? Meanwhile, Kamala Harris, she's having a hard time keeping up. In fact, there have been plenty of press conferences and interviews where, if you watch them at length, sometimes Kamala Harris just gets lost. It literally will remind you of Joe Biden, but it's not because Kamala Harris is old and mentally unstable. It's because she's incompetent. And she knows she's out of place. She knows that she has no business being where she's at. I want to go ahead and roll this clip. I want you to keep what Nancy Pelosi said in mind as I roll this clip really quickly.
Alex?
Over Jackson.
Thank you. Alex? Alex, too.
I'm Lauren.
Sorry.
You have
There
to
we
say
go.
the last name of someone else. Oh, keep going.
You know what? It's 48 hours out. Everyone's a little tired. Who was with us
hear
last
that.
night?
Keep going.
You're right. Few sleep deprived.
So who's the one that's really fatigued? Who's the one that's really mentally drained? Who's the one that really can't mentally keep up with this job? Is it Trump, who's out here Trump dancing, talking trash, making fun of everyone, doing 3 or 4 rallies a day? Or is it Kamala Harris, who gets lost in her own interview, doesn't even know what's going on, looking like a complete idiot? And you know, it's funny, because they say you age, right? When you're in the White House, you age quicker. Go look at any president. When they walk into the White House and when they walk out, it's like they age so quickly. But I don't think the White House had that effect on Donald Trump. I think he had a very unique experience as president. I don't think he ever got to just relax as president without nonstop attacks. But somehow, some way, even though the Democrats made it as stressful as possible, it seems like he came out of the White House better off than most of the presidents that we've seen. And it looks like he's ready to go right back in. So hopefully on Tuesday, we'll put him back in. But for now, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.